Terry is not going to be here tonight, so I'll keep notes as we're going along. Do you want to go first about Turkey Bowl, since we have no guests today, or?
Yeah, so the Turkey Bowl, I think the last meeting, Colleen had said you had approved $100 for any expenses on that. Jason Allen is working on getting the equipment that we've used the last couple of years, and he was having trouble. The guy is traveling. He thinks he's going to get it, but he's not sure. I wanted to, well, I mean, we already have the $100 approved, but I was just actually looking at whether we might be able to purchase our own equipment, so we have it available to us for this event each year, and then if we want to use it, you know, if anybody else wants to put on some kind of a flag football thing, or if we want to do another thing, we have it available. It looks like it's only about...
It looks like what?
It looks like it's less than $50 per set for the equipment. Basically, all we need is the flags and the belts, the cones we have. But so I guess I don't need to get an approval on the funds, because we had approved the up to 100 already before on that. So we may end up. I'll talk to Jason tonight and find out if we have it available, but we may end up just buying it, and then we'll have it. The numbers right now, we have full teams for both sides. I know the South has a lot less than we do, but we'll have plenty for both sides. We have a lot of kids too, so we might try and get the side game. And I think that's it. I'll try and do.
How about the T-shirt orders? Did you need any?
Yeah, Jason had some for the South. He had some left over from last year, so he wasn't going to order any. He was just going to bring what he had and sell those. I had orders for about 12, and I think I bought 15. I couldn't get them in M&N. They wanted like a month to get them done, so they're really busy right now. So I had another place in Pelham from a guy used to live in Litchfield, and now he's in Pelham. But QT's is the name of the place. But he gave us a really good deal, and he's gonna have them done
That's
tomorrow.
good to know. Yeah.
So I had them done there. I just did like 3 or 4 extras. But yeah, we were able to get them finished up. And yeah, it should be. I think we'll be all set. It looks like the weather's gonna be great. It's gonna be like 55.
No blizzard.
Yeah.
All set.
Oh, wow. I could have messed everything up. I bought a brand new snow blower, so it could be a really dry.
It will. There'll be no snow this year. Yeah. Yeah. It's like us with the generator.
First time in many years.
So yeah, I think we're all set. We should be good.
All right. Excellent.
I don't know. I'm guessing you must be Tara.
Yes.
All right. Great.
Hello.
we were hoping you'd come. That's good.
I was gonna go to that next.
I don't have anything except for Tara. Right.
Okay.
She sent an email. She's with
Go ahead.
flag football.
Speaking of flag football.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want me to recap it?
What's that?
Do you want me to recap?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that email,
Okay.
John.
It's all right.
Well, why don't you recap, and actually this might roll into line what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Karen.
So last spring we formed a Litchfield flag football team that plays at the New Hampshire Sportsplex, and 10 kids played last spring. And this year we got all 10 kids to renew, plus we've added 3 more. And I understand there are actually 3 other Litchfield teams that are now playing. One of a younger age group, another one our same age group, and another one that's even older. But I came today to see if there was a way that I could basically practice with our team once a week. And more pointedly, to see if there was a way that our group, which is not an official Litchfield organization, it was just a group of kids who wanted to play flag football and are playing at the New Hampshire Sportsplex. So we don't have a board, we don't have bylaws or anything like that, but we'd love to be able to just get like 1 hour practice a week, if that's even possible. So my question is, I actually have been given the approval by the district to be able to go into their calendar and reserve space, but just wondering if they need a certificate of insurance. And so that, I think, is my big question to you, is can I use would you allow us to use your certificate of insurance for that purpose?
So, past practice, we welcome all new organizations. I think wrestling, pickleball were all organizations that walked in here that weren't organizations.
Oh,
That are
okay.
now organizations that said,
okay.
how do we do this?
Huh.
Our process was we set them up and said, here's a copy of what others have used for bylaws, and create an organization. We'll take a look at it, and then the board votes to say, hey, well, they meet our criteria for being an organization in town,
Yeah.
even as a new one, even as a small one.
Okay.
And then at that point, if the board approves that, you would fall under the rec commission. And effectively, that all we really do for the organizations that are under us is we ask them to send us updates each year of their budget, whatever they have for a budget, and the current board and the bylaws as they change and so forth. Bylaw changes, like basketball just sent through bylaw changes they did, and we accepted them as changes going forth. They let us know who the new officers are each year. They sit under our wing, I guess, at that point, and then our insurance policy covers the organizations under us, which was lacrosse, basketball, pickleball, wrestling, youth wrestling, not high school
Baseball
wrestling.
now.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think the only one isn't it still softball?
Softball.
And soccer?
Soccer.
Softball and soccer.
Softball's still independent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, still independent.
What is,
So-
does Sportsplex not require you to have insurance to play over there?
You end up signing a waiver. I mean, I think they have facility. I did ask the executive director there, and he has insurance on his own facility, but everybody who plays signs a waiver.
So you mentioned 3 teams.
Yes.
Is there a way of combining all of you guys into a league?
There might potentially be. I know one of the coaches, I'm sure you guys might even have Rob White. I know he's coaching another one of the teams. He was the coach of one of our boys' baseball teams last spring.
Brian Fletcher's involved too.
Brian Fletcher. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
So is it like a pickup? Is it like a pickup, or do the parents come and register them some way?
They
or-
absolutely do register them.
Okay.
And I mean, there's 2 8-week sessions, one in the kind of fall, winter, early winter, and then another late winter into spring. So there's 2 different leagues, and basically the coaches kind of recruit their own teams. And I'll tell you, last spring there was so much interest. This league has blown up. They have 36 teams playing this year at the Sportsplex.
And that's all around the area.
All around, yeah.
Surrounding towns.
But it's a really cool format. It's I don't know a whole lot about football myself, but I'm learning. But basically, there are at least 3 kids that touch the ball in every play because the quarterback can't run. So the kids get a lot of playing time. And normally, like, you have to have 8 as a minimum to play in a team. They get really awesome, like, NFL type jerseys, and but it's only once a week, so it's it's not a huge commitment. So
I think, like John was saying, it basically, like for Talent Hall, I know you talked about, you looked into the school.
yeah.
But for Talent Hall, like, we've always kept that for community organizations, leagues, and not allowed private events. People ask for birthday parties and things like that. We've never, our policy has always been that we don't allow those for a few different reasons. But I think we just would give you a copy of another league's bylaws, and you kind of
Okay.
would change any of the wording that you might need to change or something you didn't like, and then you say, hey, this is our board, and you have however you wanna do that.
Do I then need to go through the state to register
No.
it? I mean, you don't. So basically, just for your purposes, we need to form
Yeah, and then
an organization.
And then a basic budget, right?
And, well, background checks are the only
Only for
other
camps,
issue
right?
that comes up. What's that?
That's only for camps though, right? Background check for the state?
If they if they fell into the state law, you do it once a week, it doesn't go in that area. If it goes beyond that, there's state rules towards running camps, X number of days and so forth. But if it's once a week, it doesn't even come up as an issue.
If it's twice a week, would it come up as an issue? Because then we would have
No.
a game on
It's
Saturday.
times.
It's
It's
three
scheduled
times
practice
a
type thing.
week. and
Oh, okay.
Consecutive days, I believe.
It's for
okay.
camps is really what it comes down to.
Oh, okay, all right. And so the budget is zero at this point, because we just pay fees to the sportsplex, so.
And then.
We'll put in like
Is
$100
it all-
or something.
Is it all Litchfield, or is it,
We have 12 Litchfield kids on our team, and then the 13th is somebody who lives on the Litchfield line who goes to a Manchester private school that doesn't have sports. So, and I think Rob White's team, what I heard was he's got like 9 out of 11 kids who are in Litchfield. And I don't know Brian Fletcher or whatever, but Jimmy at the Sportsplex is saying that there are 2 other Litchfield teams, so.
So you said you check with the school, so they're willing to give you time?
Yeah,
At
he
one of the
actually
schools
already
is just-
approved me, and he's like, just get their certificate of insurance. I was like, okay.
That's good.
It's good.
which school, which school?
I just contacted the superintendent's office, so I don't know. He has the coolest title. His dude comptroller, and I don't know his name. I just was looking at his email. Matthew Bennett.
Oh, yeah, okay, Matt Bennett,
So
yeah.
he, I just put a request in to, be able to access the calendar, right, to reserve times, and he said he approved it, and he just said.
Yes, I think the site is called Dude.
Yeah, yes, I think it has to do with,
.com.
I know,
It's
it's
a
like,
site.
you have the coolest title.
School Dude?
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because I know basketball utilizes the schools as well, and I'm not sure if Matt has the basketball schedule at that point.
Right, I don't know,
Oh,
he
okay.
probably said submit.
Right, he probably
And it has
just
to go through
has given me
approval.
access, I'm sure, I don't, like, I'm sure I don't know how it works, but I'm guessing there's priorities, that we would.
Yeah, because I'm figuring
Yeah.
things must be blocked
Right,
out for
school
basketball.
events are first, and then something else, I don't know.
I'm not sure if Matt has that connection to what they have for
School Dude?
time.
Oh,
school
okay.
use. As far as I think, what Andy said when he was at the last meeting is they're not using GMS this year.
True.
What day you got looking to practice?
Any day but Friday. So
Weekends?
Monday through Thursday. We
Or
could,
week-
we'd prefer a weekday,
Weekday?
but I know it's.
We have
I'm sure
no
it's so
control over
busy.
the school calendar.
Sure,
That's,
yeah.
the organizations separately head in that
Right.
direction. We assist where necessary.
Right,
Um,
right.
There's a very good cooperation between the school board and the organizations in town for getting things together,
Yeah,
or the
it sounds
superintendent's
like it.
office, so.
So if they were able to form a board, because her request was from, and this is just the first one, obviously you said you have
Yeah.
a spring session as well.
Yes, exactly.
So this one isn't from November to the beginning of January.
Yes.
So if they got their board together, would they be able to get under our insurance relatively quickly, or is there a process?
As
or
soon as we vote, right?
All we've done in the past is as soon as they get the organization together, they create a board and they submit the bylaws. When we approve it, it goes to, well, it was Jason Hope was the last board,
Right.
would go to Troy.
John, does
And
Troy need
add that.
notification to add them as a group?
Just, once you make the vote, just make sure you know it's on the phone day.
Okay,
I don't think it takes that long to get it out.
okay.
I can check with them tomorrow, but.
Would we have to wait till your next meeting before a vote, or is that something that?
Well, you'd probably you'd have to get the bylaws and everything to us, turned around.
Do you have monthly meetings?
We have every 2 weeks.
Oh, every 2 weeks.
So the next one would be the second week I'm sorry, not every 2 weeks, it's twice a month, it's the second Tuesday of December.
Specifically,
Okay.
it's the 8th of December,
Thank you.
Okay.
which is not bad because it's a short month in
Right.
the end.
Right.
Monday, the first Tuesday's the first, so.
Right, okay.
And if you are interested in coordinating the other teams all together to do that, then I can pass along your information to Brian, the team he's running, to contact you about it or something as well, if you want to do that, or if you guys want to do it.
I'm just thinking, in the interest of time, it probably is easier for me to just go forward with this, and then I can loop everybody else in, you know? Yeah, I mean, as long as you guys are fine with that. I mean, if I get the space and say, hey, you guys are playing at the Sportsplex, do you want to practice during the week? They'll probably be like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he had actually already made a similar request.
Oh, he
and
did.
I gave him the same response that I did to you, that
Okay.
talent's usually pretty full in the winter, and the
Yeah.
schools might be another option, and I don't know where he went from there. You know,
Okay.
If he tried to get time or not, but.
So one of the benefits of joining the rec commission is you end up getting posted up on our Facebook page, and you end up getting put in our website. The one of the negatives would be then you also become an organization who is getting requests from people in town to set up teams and to join
Right,
kids and everything
right.
else. So it's that, it's.
Right, taking on
wrestling
that
went from a
responsibility.
Yeah.
pretty small group to a pretty large group really fast.
Really?
When they climbed on board. And I don't know if they expected that originally. I think they were expecting to stay at, a fairly small level, and it took off like a shot. This could well be the same thing. Just preparation for that.
Yeah,
in-
right.
In your own mind.
Right.
What's your age
Okay.
group?
Well, the age group of our kids is 7, 8, but the whole league at the sports complex, I think, actually starts at 5, like 5
wow.
to 10. So I think there's a younger age group.
So 5 to 10.
Yes, I think
10,
so.
okay.
There's like 3 different age groups, yeah.
Okay.
So we were talking about purchasing flag football equipment for the Turkey Bowl right before you walked in.
Oh.
So we may actually have.
Do you need flags?
Yes,
Right.
We have like 2 sets of flags.
You do?
Yeah.
we
I don't-
borrowed them the last couple of years from somebody, another.
I think we have a blue and a red. And there's like 10 of each, 10 or 11. Is that,
what do we
Belts.
usually play?
yeah.
On the
Yeah.
field.
What's that?
I think it's 11 that you field anyhow,
There's
right?
11 on the field.
11 v 11?
There's 11.
Yeah,
I
we're
can
at
go
11.
home and
Yeah.
count them.
Yeah, I know we borrowed it from, we've had somebody else that's helping us run it, borrow it from somebody, and he's having trouble getting it this year.
Oh, I can get back to you. I have your email. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go count them tonight.
It'll be for Thursday.
So maybe
morning.
I should get a hold of the coaches of the other teams.
Might be a good formation of a board to get
Yeah,
a couple of people
seriously.
involved. Couple parents. And you're in the
Yeah.
younger group, which is a positive, so.
Yeah,
What?
that is the positive side.
I already got it. I know.
I
I just looked at other. I was
They're
like,
the little ones.
oh, how did I get approved?
But I'm sure it would. I'm sure there'd be interest. Obviously, you got a lot of interest.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
it's
last
huge, you
spring we
said.
formed it over the week. Like on Friday, I sent out an email and I had kids by the next day. Within 24 hours, I had a team.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Yeah.
I can see it being a popular activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can you'll be able to get me some
Do you have it? I don't
bylaws
have
or
any
whatever.
bylaws.
Or do we need to contact another league to see? Or you
We
have
could
basketball
send the
leagues?
ones basketball, just send us an update. I think basketball's originally, like, going way back, was something we grabbed from baseball.
Okay. Okay.
Do you? I don't have it. Did they
I-
forward it on to us?
I have the email you sent, so I'll send you.
Okay.
Basketball's bylaws, and again, amend them any possible way you want. It just gives you a nice format going
Okay.
across.
All right. Cool. Cool. And then I don't know if anybody has Rob White's contact or the other gentleman that you mentioned.
What I'll do.
If you wouldn't mind forwarding that to me too.
I will. Do you have Rob White's, or you not have that?
That would have been from last
I don't
spring.
know.
And I think he was the assistant coach, so I don't think it would have come from him. I don't think. Yeah, he was an assistant coach for Cypher, Team Cypher, I think, so I don't think I have his email.
I'll try and track it down. If I can get everybody's email, I'll put you all on one email together so that you all have the same.
Oh,
information.
perfect, okay.
I won't scroll through it while we're running the meeting, but you'll get it tonight.
Okay, that sounds good.
Any questions, I'll put my phone number on it. If you have
Okay.
questions, I've helped write some of these in the past, so if you're getting organizational questions and stuff, just call me.
All right, sounds good.
I think I'm
Right.
always awake.
This time of year, yeah.
All right,
All right,
Great,
sounds
Karen.
good.
Good luck.
Anything else I need to consider? All right, looks like we're forming a flag football league. All right. Litchfield Lions Club first, 10 years ago, now this. All
There you
right,
go.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
all right.
Then the other, I'm not sure if we even need to discuss it, it was just, Andy mentioned Pinkerton having the toy drive.
Yeah.
And to stage it, or stage a collection at Talent.
We should probably vote that we want to do that.
Okay.
I would say.
And it is for, the organization is Second Chance Toys.
There
Wanna talk
isn't,
about
there
it
isn't one
briefly?
in town that, right?
Not that I'm aware of, I mean, I know churches do various giving trees, I mean, the school does giving trees. I don't believe there's a
Okay.
toy drive that I'm aware of, maybe
We have a closed drive on Main Front, but nothing, not a toy drive, not anywhere.
I don't know, anything, I think Rocco's does what, a Toys for Tots sometimes, drop off toys over there.
The unique part of this, it's second chance toys, so they're used toys, no stuffed animals or something else, but, I mean, they're second
Right.
chance toys, which could drive a,
Toys, games,
last
books,
group.
movies,
right.
Yeah,
So, let's see, I make a motion, we have a request for, a second chance toy box located at Talent Hall, and make a motion, we accept that request.
Second?
Second.
do we have to mention when the toy drive runs? Or no, we don't, doesn't matter.
I mean, we've got the email if somebody wants to question us towards, it doesn't have to be part of the motion.
Okay,
Not that no need from that end.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
400. We'll have a second chance toy box. Will you let Andy know? It's all set?
Yep.
Great. I have a question for you about tennis nets. Did we talk last time that you were gonna try and order
Yes.
some tennis nets?
Yep, yep.
Any chance on that?
No, I don't have any, I was focused on, archery targets. And looking for archery targets. Those are a lot more than I thought,
Yeah. Oh, they're very expensive.
very. They're like 300 and something, like 369 each. I was figured I was gonna look for a $300 budget just to get a bunch of archery equipment. I know it was like
yo,
360.
Yeah, okay.
It was
So what,
$299, I think, was the cheapest I could find, and it really isn't the quality that I'm looking for what the high school had. So I was surprised to see how expensive the equipment was. And it's the target, not the actual bow and arrow.
Right.
It's the target.
so I have a son who had an interest in that, so we actually have bales of hay, which were so much cheaper than anything you could get target-wise, and we, of course, we hang zombie targets in front of the bales of hay, and, because that's the life that we all live in right now, because zombies gonna show up any moment. That's worked out real well, and it was a very cheap alternative, and probably a safer alternative when he first started.
Yeah,
using it.
I can
That's what
totally.
we did a few years ago when for Winterfest, we did hay bales, right?
Maybe the first year, and then the second year we got the targets from the high school.
Oh,
I know he used the hay bales. I'm not sure if the hay bales sat behind the target to hold them, to steady him up. But then we also had the snowbanks, so I can't remember. But I could do that and just get the target. Because I can get the targets, that's easy enough just to
we
get the
can,
actual.
I mean, like last year, we just got a trailer load of hay bales from McQuestion's and
Yeah,
we returned them the next day.
yep. So I can go that route.
Like, it'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I was shocked at how expensive they were.
So was I, that's why I
Yeah.
want the hay bales.
So then I can still go and get the bows and arrows. but I'll go and just get hay bales.
And this is part of the Winter
Fest.
Fest, which we talked about last meeting, you weren't here, and continuing to grow that program and
Correct.
what we're utilizing.
Now, did you have a specific request for tennis nets?
No, it's but part of our,
Someone had asked us about
Right,
someone.
to replace.
over
We're
the end of
replacing
the
both of
summer.
them.
correct.
I do have, don't buy the, if you're gonna buy them, don't buy the straps, the center straps, cause I
Okay.
have 2 of those
Okay.
that we had ordered that weren't put on. Because, I think it was because of the pickleball put their own on or something, I think.
So don't buy center straps
Right.
for tennis nets, okay.
So as we had talked about the program expenses on our budget, we didn't want to spend that money early if we had something else that fell in line. But those tennis nets were something we discussed last year when we put the program expenses budgets together. The money's available.
So we want to spend it
we
before
should
December 31st.
Do the tennis nets now because we didn't overspend that budget item right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the tennis nets were like every, maybe like every 3 years or so, depending on the use. They seem to.
Really?
I think we got the donated one 3 years ago, and that was looking pretty weak. The one that was there that we thought was brand new, and we got the donated one, is a wreck right
Yeah.
now.
Wow. They only last that long, huh?
Well, I mean, you can spend more money and get a higher quality one, but I don't know how much. If you get another year or 2 out of it, you're
Right.
spending twice as much. You might as well just
Yeah.
buy it more often.
And I think we decided when they chopped those trees down, that facility that was hardly ever used is used all the time
Oh, it's
now.
beautiful, yeah. It gets a lot of activity now.
Anything else? No other news on budget or anything like that, which,
No, we started reviewing the warrant. There's some questions with regards to the director position we have in the warrant. I think the question is, you already have an authorization to do it. The only issue is a funding problem.
you already have what?
Authorization to have a director, recreation director. I mean, when the commission was formed, that was already a part of it. We just gotta figure out how to fund it.
Oh, in the rules and procedures, it's in
I
there that we
understand, yeah.
have a director
So-
position?
I'm gonna give Troy a call tomorrow. He's probably gonna reach out to you to get some clarification,
Okay.
and then we'll decide. I think it's a matter of whether or not we just absorb it in the budget itself, but. So.
Okay. I think we covered all the budget items last meeting as far as what was going on.
Yeah.
I have no other items
No.
for this evening.
I can't think
The
of
only
anything.
question I had, and we didn't talk about it last night at our meeting, but the RFP for field maintenance, that's still under discussion, right?
There is no, Troy was supposed to be working with our attorneys and the insurance and with the landscaper to find out where his insurance stands. That
Well, I
was-
contacted him, and they said the town hall was looking for an updated insurance certificate. He said he had sent one in August, something like that, that he was gonna resend.
Okay.
So I don't know if they received that.
I'll talk to Troy tomorrow, so, I meant to ask that last time when I was with Troy, and I forgot about it, so I didn't know if you guys had an update on it. I'll talk to him tomorrow and see where that's at.
Okay. And then from that, if that's valid, then we have to make a decision as a group on what we want to do going forward. I'm not even sure if the fields have been shut down yet.
Yeah, they're all,
Everything's off, it's all been cleared out?
Yeah,
Okay. So at
Well, when
that
you say
point,
going forward, I mean, we're still,
we're 1 year into the 2 year.
yeah, into a
contract now.
2-year contract.
yes, we are still under contract. The question that has come up is, do we want to remain under contract? Or do we want to try and go forward and look at things differently based on performance over the last year and take our time to look at it? That was discussed in a couple of meetings we've had.
So when would we come to that decision?
Soon, because we want to get an RFP out before the end of the year.
Okay. Now, just going back, I mean, I thought that a lot of the issues that they may have run into had to do with the previous maintenance company and how they had left it.
Yes.
And that it was taking him time to, this new one, this new company, taking them time to get things back to the conditions that we want them at.
So, in publicly, we've already said this.
Yeah.
Opening our fields 2 weeks late last year has nothing to do with previous companies.
But how they
Me-
closed them down, we never knew how they closed them down either, right? They never did the fertilization treatments or whatever it was.
Absolutely. But again, in a hot spring, because this company got overwhelmed, we got nothing to start our season off, which caused a major problem towards it. As the summers progressed, some of the back and forth have been who's turning sprinklers on, who's turning sprinklers off. But if you look at the RFP and you read through it, the maintenance of the fields and the extra care given to sections of the field that are overused, has that occurred? No, based on the emails we've gotten back and forth from lacrosse and soccer and so forth, that extra care hasn't gotten there. The question that came up in the selectmen's meeting, and in the meeting I had with Troy, was, is the RFP being followed as it says? And my opinion, again, the board would have to make this decision, is we have a lawn cutting company, not a lawn care company. And that concerns me that, yes, the previous company was a lawn cutting company, and they probably did the worst we've had. Do we stand right now in the place where we have another lawn cutting company that's trying to do a little bit more and get us to where we stand? Yeah, a little more. Is it enough? And are we getting the care we need to keep these fields in good working order going forward? Mike Bosky's clearly the most active person in getting involved. His biggest concerns are we're losing the Litchfield Park, Sawmills, long-term potential with some of the care that's going over there right now. Again, I'm not an expert towards this. It's just where I sit. And because we're all actively out chasing things and looking at fields and discussing with the selectmen, one of the selectmen had made the suggestion about getting somebody on board that could do this as a paid person, as opposed to all of us and all of the leagues putting all the time in trying to follow up with a landscaper and check fields and make sure everything's in order. And I was very appreciative of all the time we put out there. But the question is, should you really be chasing this process all the time?
Right.
Or
And
should
we
you have
know-
somebody under contract for this kind of money
Was
to
it
do it right?
4 years ago, when we still had TLC, I guess him living right nearby the field was, that was convenient, but he was very self-sufficient. We didn't have to chase him. He was always on top of it. If there was a problem, he fixed it, notified us, took care of it, and it was never, we weren't running around calling him, trying to email him, hey, this needs to be taken care of. The last 2 companies, it seems like we've got to do a lot more of that.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I think, currently, unfortunately, I don't think we'll know if, I think that they've gone out and they've aerated, they've done, lime and weed control, overseeding, slice seeding. And I think it's a year or 2 process till we really know if they're,
agree.
if they're effective.
Well,
What they're doing.
okay, so slice seeding. We put it out there, we said, yes, slice seed it, get to it early. They did it, or he did it, like, beyond any time when we did see any germination this year. Instead of getting it done, again, if we're looking for somebody we hear yes,
Right.
we're all in, but the schedule doesn't fit with what the words are. We want to get this set up, but that slice seeding isn't going to show any benefit, even though we asked for it back in, we talked about it in June and July. It occurred in mid-October is when we finally did that, if my memory of time sounds right.
I know I was on the field and I saw it had been slice seeded.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you, but October, I'm sure it was probably October.
Right. Is that really again, that's on his
I'm
schedule.
not a landscaper either, I don't know what time a
Okay.
field should be sliced.
So he told us the best time for that would be early fall or late summer if the weather's right. So to get it done late fall doesn't seem to make any sense based off of what we're getting
Right.
told by the landscaper.
Right.
If we take that information that he's providing to us, it's not even cutting the chase where we want to go with this.
I agree.
I don't wanna-
Ideally, we put a contract out there, we come to an agreement, and we say, okay, you're hired for 2 years, and they just do what they're supposed to do.
Oh,
and
oh, I
and
completely
the grass
agree.
is green and everything is in great shape, and we're kind of out of that process, because that's why we hired them.
Correct.
You know, for the last few years, that hasn't happened.
No, and I think, but I do, and I don't mean to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, but I do think the previous one, I mean, we were used to TLC, and the fields look great. Then we got another one, and it went down considerably.
Yes.
And I mean, it is only a year, technically a season. I mean, spring through fall, and he hasn't had a chance. I mean, I'm hoping everything looks better next year, but we've also run in. This is the first year we ran into water limits,
One field.
but we haven't experienced that. Right, we hadn't
Right.
experienced
Well,
that before.
and on top of that, we had twice where the pump quit, and they both times happened to be during an extremely
Hot.
dry period.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean,
But the complaints aren't about just one field.
no, I agree. But I'd say, I mean, I would say Sawmill looks a heck of a lot better than Dara. A heck of a lot. I see I see Sawmill more.
So and again, it rolls back down to driving around, what do other fields look like in other towns at the same time where our fields looked. We are not up to what a good 2-year contract should say. And that's, I guess, as the stewards of the fields, I'm looking at this company and going, you know what, you started off bad and you finished bad in half the contract. Because effectively, he just finished half his contract. So half the contract so far, the start and the finish were bad, and the summer wasn't great. So did we get what we're paying for? Personally, I don't think so at all. I don't think the words we got were followed up with actions. We got good words, no doubt. He always, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, but what actually occurred and when it occurred never
Yeah.
seemed to flow in line.
Seemed like
The
it was
further
bad.
concern to that was no insurance last summer, and the gap there in the insurance when the RFP clearly says you're required to have insurance. That was one of Troy's concerns, and that was one of his follow-ups.
I didn't hear that one, so he had no insurance either.
As far as we know, there was a gap in his insurance. We got an expiration in his insurance, and he did not forward the information back to Troy when Troy requested it. And Troy was handling that ball at the time. I did not find out until the budget process came through. So that's when the discussion came, can we end the contract? Troy was gonna research with
We can.
our
It's-
attorneys.
The end of the contract says we have the right to cancel the contract for any reason at any time.
Correct.
Something similar to that.
Yeah, the RFP says that, and
Yeah.
we can do that. So when I went in front of the selectmen about our budget, I asked them, okay, if we end this contract, what do we do? It was recommended that we make the right decision as a group. We discuss it. If we choose to end the contract, we notify him, we put out a new RFP, and then at the deliberative session, we get the money for what any additional contract would be. So the sooner we do that, if that's where the board wants to go. And again, I was hoping Andy and Sandy and Jesse would be here, so we'd get 7 of us to say, hey, this is where we stand. We're gonna try and encourage everybody to be here in the 8th, so we can actually make a collective
Yeah, because this is the first I heard that I saw Troy's email about the insurance, but I didn't know I didn't know we were reconsidering changing.
With no insurance, it wouldn't even be a reconsideration. It would
Agreed.
be,
I didn't know.
So
he
was
just
there a
updating.
lapse, or did he just not send the documentation on it?
I'm pretty sure there was a lapse, based on the conversation with Troy. Because the conversation went, I have no employees. But since we've been out in the fields, and there's always 2 people here, then there is some employee, because it's always been people mowing the fields from what I've seen. And at that point, again, we did not contract with an individual, we contracted with a company to run a company. If that's changed, and that doesn't fall in line with the letters he sent us towards being a company in business for X amount of years and so forth, it all kind of,
Should we look at the, the 8th isn't far, I'm gonna be in Florida on the 8th. In the interest of getting it done, should we try and find a time that works for everyone and hold a special meeting?
we can't.
Yeah, because we need to get the RFP, again, we want someone to start by what, March, April,
March?
Right.
depending on snow,
Right.
obviously, right.
You want to be ready as soon as it's time to get everything prepped up and going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe a special meeting if you're traveling.
Yeah. Meeting on the 6th.
Maybe something, is it easier, like on a Sunday for Sandy? Just a quick, like,
Saturday, Sunday?
yeah, just a quick meeting.
For me, this time of year, that's actually probably the best.
That's better, yeah.
Without a doubt, as it all plugs along. How about you, John? Or is that,
Weekend's fine. But, yeah, it is.
It shouldn't be long.
I'm away the next 2 weekends, but,
I mean, I know, we are talking, I'm sure everyone probably has plans, they may not know it yet, but I'm sure once December gets here, weekends are gonna fill up, so, I'm not sure if it's better early in the morning for people.
if no one's taking off this weekend, I mean, we could plug it off after Thanksgiving, this Saturday or Sunday. As far as I know, Andy's in
true.
town.
Yeah.
I think we're all in town.
Yeah.
I know Sandy's in town. I think Jessie had said she was in town too. We could all plug it off on Saturday or Sunday and get together and at least make a vote, decide what to do.
That works for me. That's fine.
You want to pick a time, or anybody have any?
if you're saying this weekend, I won't be here, but you don't need me. If you have your full board, I'm gonna buy what you guys wanna do anyway. So,
Okay.
I prefer earlier.
Me too.
I just don't know what's like going on in the evening for the weekends and stuff, but,
Want to do like Saturday at 9? Or Sunday at 9? Or is that too early?
I can do Sunday at 9, I can't do Saturday at 9, but I can do
Okay.
Sunday at 9.
Sunday at 9?
You better bring your coffee, right?
What's that?
You better bring your coffee.
I
Yeah,
can do
program
Sunday night.
expenses.
What's Jessie's status? Is she just,
She can make some, she's still on the board, she can make some meetings, she thinks maybe once a month.
Once a month, right. And she's back tied into the kids group again.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is,
Well, she has a friend, yeah,
Right,
that
which
took
is
over the
great.
group,
yeah,
so that's still in existence.
okay.
I think she thought that by walking away, there was people knocking down the door to take her position.
That's
and-
not the case.
That's not really the case.
Yeah.
All right,
So
so,
Sunday at 9,
yeah,
we're gonna do, okay?
you wanna zip one out, a quick email to everybody, we'll meet, where do you wanna meet? Wanna meet at Town Hall?
Hidden Creek
Huh?
for breakfast.
Oh, we could do that, we've done that in the past. Oh, is that basketball?
I don't think we have basketball Sunday morning.
No, I mean, meeting at exterior locations, I think we've done a few of
Oh,
those.
yeah.
We can get together anywhere we want.
Well,
I
this,
guess the question would be, Andy, see if Jesse and Andy are available for Sunday morning, and then we can pick a location.
Okay.
Anything else?
what is this Sunday, the 27th, 28th,
Sunday is the
29th?
29th.
29th?
November's done.
Yeah.
Fine.
One of the worst 2 months of the year gone. I got one more to go. Insanity. All right, I'll make a motion that we adjourn. Got a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're all done. Happy
All right.
Thanksgiving.
To vote on to vote on
Whether or not
current
we